Evai Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today we wanted to do the Radhakund Parikrama. Yesterday we did 2 sessions on Govardhan Parikram, which finishes at Radhakund. So we thought we'd have a more closer look at Radhakund Parikram. So we'd like to seek your good wishes and your blessings so that we can try to enter the nectar of Radhakund. And this is in the Padma Puran, Kartika Mahatmya.
Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu Tasya Kundam Priyam Tatha Sarva Gopishu Sevika Vishnu Atyanta Vallabha. Just as Srimati Radharani is dear to the Supreme Lord Krishna, Vishnu, so her bathing place, Radhakund, is equally dear to Krishna. Among all the gopis, she alone stands supreme as the Lord's most beloved. This is by Jiva Goswami from the Priti Sandarbha, Volume 1.
So a very beautiful verse. So as Radharani is close to Krishna, so Radhakund is also close to Krishna. This is Radhakund. Radhakund ki jai. This rectangular, beautifully shaped is Radhakund. And this awkwardly shaped is typically going to be Shyamakund. Nothing about Krishna is straightforward. Radharani is very straightforward, but Krishna is never straightforward. So his Kund is also not very straightforward. So let's have a look. This is an overview of Radhakund and Shyamkund, the different places. There's many, many different places, as we can see. So we'll start, hopefully, with number 1 and end with number 41. So number 1 itself is, hang on a minute. So this is again Radhakund, where we bathe. This is midnight when the appearance of Radhakund is honored. Okay, first is the Radha Krishna Purana Mandir. So this is Raghunath Das Goswami rediscovered local Radha Krishna deities during the excavation of Radhakund. He inspired the excavation of Radhakund. Before it was a tiny little pond, and this current Radhakund, as it is, was excavated by Raghunath Das Goswami. So it's a fantastic effort. And during that excavation, they found Radha Krishna deities. And these are the deities that they found. And this is the Radha Krishna Purana Mandir deities. Radha Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Number 2, Julanstan Sali. There is a stone structure near the bank under the banyan tree, shaped like an upside down U mark, where Radha Krishna enjoy their swing pastimes, Julan. Hence why Julanstali. Number 3 is the Gopal Manipur Mandir. Very interesting temple, this one. Gopal Manipur Mandir, Gopal deity was originally being worshipped in the house of a Brahmin. About 100 years ago, the king of Manipur had a dream in which the deity of Gopal appeared and ordered the king to build a temple for him at such a place that he could gaze at Radhakund, as well as give darshan to Surya, the sun god. The king built a nice temple for Lord Gopal, located at the exact spot where the first rays of the rising sun appear at Radhakund. So this temple has actually been given to ISKCON so that they can continue with the worship and maintenance of the temple. And it's very beautifully maintained. I remember having Prashad here once or twice, and very, very sweet devotees, and Prashad is really amazing. That's number 3. So number 4, Radha Shyam Sundar Mandir. And number 5, Radha Gopinath Mandir. So this is Radha Gopinath Mandir. Very beautiful deities. So it's 4 there and 5 there. Ma Janava Baitak. So this is quite a famous place where the consort, eternal consort of Lord Nityananda, Janava Devi, is having her sitting place. She visited Radhakund and around 1582 to console Raghunath Das Goswami, who was feeling great separation from Radha and Krishna. And Baitak is a favorite spot of a certain devotee who used to sit there. So she used to sit here and do her japa. Ma Janava, while sitting here, had a wonderful vision of Lord Gopinath standing under a tamal tree playing his flute. This is why Gopinath deity was installed just next to her Baitak. Okay, that's interesting. So Gopinath, okay, Gopinath and Janava. Number 7, Anangamanjari Kunj. This very spot where Janava Mata sat is a place where in Aprakat Leela, a footbridge made of pure crystal extends out into the middle of Radhakund, where the Kunj grove of Anangamanjari is situated. This Kunj appears like a large lotus flower floating in the middle of Radhakund. Ma Janava is, of course, no other than Anangamanjari, the younger sister of Srimati Radharani. So also it's regarded that Balaram has also expanded himself as Anangamanjari. So this is like a combination of Balaram and also Janava Devi. So very interesting. So Anangamanjari's Kunj is here. And Aprakat Leela is the Leela that takes place eternally. So there's a footbridge that's made of pure crystal that goes into the middle of Radhakund. We can't, of course, see it because we don't have the vision or the understanding. Number 8, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami Samadhi. So this is different from, maybe not, sorry. That's wrong, actually. That should be Raghunath Das Goswami. That Bhatt is wrong. Let's just change it. No, let's change it later. Raghunath Das Goswami was born in Bengal in 1494. He came from a very wealthy family, but he had absolutely no interest in any material affairs. They got him married at a very young age because they saw he was so renounced, but it didn't impact him. He didn't even lie on the marital bed, not even once. He was the embodiment of renunciation. And he ate only to keep his soul and body together. And Lord Chaitanya presented Raghunath Das Goswami with his own Govardhan Shila to worship, as well as Ganjamala, sacred to Radharani. He resides on the banks of Radhakund and was responsible for its excavation. 24-hour kirtan is sung here. Singing of mantras and songs for the pleasure of Radha and Krishna has been done here since 1960. So every single day, 24/7, there are at least 2 devotees who will be singing kirtan. I presume many devotees will have been here. Whoever's been to Radhakund, I'm sure you will have had darshan of Raghunath Das Goswami's Samadhi. And this is the kirtan team. This is quite a big team. Usually there's only 2. Every single day they chant 24 hours a day. So that was 8. Number 9, Govindagat. And 10, Radha Raman Mandir. Radha Govind Mandir. 11. 12 is Jiva Mandir, tongue of Govardhan. So let's just have a look at where those are. 9, 10, 11, 12. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So, Jiva Mandir, tongue of Govardhan, Raghunath Das Goswami considered the water from Radhakund to be sacred, too sacred for his bodily use, and he wanted to have a well made. One of the workers struck a stone which started to bleed. Raghunath immediately stopped him, and in the night, Krishna appeared to him. He told him that this stone is the tongue of Govardhan hill. He wanted him to install and worship the sacred Shila in the temple. It is said that if one walks around this Govardhan Shila 10 times, he receives the same benefit as if he has circumambulated the whole Govardhan hill, the whole Govardhan Parikrama. So this is, so mentally we could do that actually, go around 10 times. Shall we do that? Let's try it. Because we can do anything, any bhakti mentally. In the age of Kali Yuga, any seva done mentally is regarded as actually done physically. So let's do that. Let's walk around 10 times. We can chant the Mahamantra 10 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jiva Mandir ki jai, Govardhan Shila ki jai. So this is the Govardhan Shila that we just done Parikrama of, walking around 10 times. It means we've done another Govardhan Parikrama. Okay, number 13, Gopal Bhatt Goswami, his Bhajan Kutir is here. Okay. Few steps away from the Jiva Mandir, and Gopal Bhatt established the Radharaman Mandir, we know, in Vrindavan, spent much of his time at Radhakund with Raghunath Das Goswami and Krishna Das Kaviraj. The Bhajan Kutir is usually a small cottage or a living place kutir where sages and devotees used to live and perform their bhajan, worship by singing, meditating, reciting mantras, reading, writing, or performing ceremonies. So this is a very nice place. 13 is there. And then 14 is the three Goswamis Samadhi. So the three Goswamis are Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. So that's different from Raghunath Das Goswami. And then there's Raghunath Das Goswami. So his Bhajan Kutir we've already celebrated. Now this is his Samadhi. And Srila Krishna Das Swami, Krishna Das Kaviraj. So he's the author of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, very exalted personality. 3 Samadhis is about 20 meters from Radha Govind temple. And Raghunath Bhatt Goswami was born in 1563. No, must have passed away then. Krishna Das Kaviraj 1583. Raghunath Das Goswami 1588. He had a very long life. They left the world on the same day, but in different years. Okay, there's some these are just next to each other. And then 15, Raghunath Das. Okay, so he's got another bhajan kutir. He performed bhajan here at Radhakund for 40 years. In the first few years, he lived out in the open. Once when Raghunath was sitting on the banks of Shyamkund performing his bhajan, 2 tigers appeared out of the jungle and came to drink water from the kund. Raghunath was so absorbed that he did not notice the tigers nearby. Lord Krishna suddenly appeared and stood at a distance just to make sure no harm came to him. Another day he was chanting a holy name and the sunshine became unbearably hot. He started perspiring and from his eyes torrents of tears were flowing. Radha could not bear this scene. She personally came there and stood behind all thing her veil shielding him from the sun. It so happened that Sanatana Goswami saw both these scenes from a distance and became furious with Raghunath for taking service from Radharani and Krishna. You should serve them, not because of your negligence, force them to serve you. Thus getting Raghunath to build his bhajan kutir. And there's a very nice painting here at the back where you can see how Radharani is shielding him from the sun's rays and Krishna is protecting him from the tigers. Okay. So 16, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's bhajan kutir is right next to Raghunath bhajan kutir, close to Shyamkund above Manasa Pavan Ghat. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was born in Bengal in 1638. So after some time, after these great souls already left. And he spent a large part of his life at Radhakund. Pilu tree. This is the Pilu tree. In the previous life, is a Brahmin from Varanasi, desiring service to Radha and Krishna. He was born here as this Pilu tree on the bank of Shyamkund. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur used to discuss with him about Krishna's pastimes. And the Brahmin from the tree told him many things that took place here during Krishna's pastimes 5,000 years ago. Nearby trunk of dried tree said to be Bhimsen. And now he went to Apakrat, unrevealed to our eyes, Leela. So we cannot see this Leela, but these are great personalities who are present there, still on the banks of Shyamkund. Manasa Pavan Ghat. This is a beautiful site of Shyamkund from Manasa Pavan Ghat. In the corner of Shyamkund, there is a place known as Manasa Pavan Ghat. This is number 18. There, Radharani and her friends took bath every noon. That's number 18 there. So 19, Krishnadas Kaviraj's bhajan kutir. So this is where they used to gather for hours and hours on the banks of the Radhakund Shyamkund, surrounded by devotees, and they would listen and chant the holy names of the Lord. This is given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Famous Chaitanya Charitamrita was composed by Krishnadas Kaviraj in this kutir. So this is really interesting. Okay. 20. Bhaktivinoda Thakur Bhajan Kutir. The house of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. During his life in 1838 to 1914, he used to stay at different places, including Radhakund, together with his son Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. They preached Krishna consciousness. We've been here many, many years ago. Very interesting place. Very nice place. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bhajan Kutir. And he was written in his Gita Mala. So we are singing through these glorious songs. Even today, we this song talked about Braj Bhumi. The banks of Radhakund are made of billions of, what do you read?
The banks of Radhakund are made of billions of conscious, ecstatic, desire-fulfilling touchstones, and surrounding the Kund are hundreds and hundreds of beautiful transcendental gardens made of corals and rubies. The trees in those gardens produce diamonds and pearls. the branches bending under the weight of millions of those lovely gems. My cottage is shining beautifully within that most enchanting garden called Swananda Sukhad Gunj. Living there, I will sing Krishna's holy name, and I will greedily hanker for the time when I get the service of him and his associates.
So he describes himself where he's living. And this is not just here in Radhakund, but also it will be in the spiritual kingdom as well. He's the eternal associate of the Lord. 21, Jagannath Mandir. Jagannath Mandir has become a common practice for devotees performing Radhakund, Parikrama, and Govardhan Pariyat to stop here and take darshan of the beautiful deities of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. Jai. Wow, amazing. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra. 22, Radhakund. Surrounding Radhakund and Shyamkund, there are kunds of the main 8 Asti Gopis of Radharani and Krishna. Radhakund is only one now manifested. Others are not. You can't see the others. So Radhakund is very famous. And then these are all the different samadhis. So many samadhis of previous acharyas, previous devotees, exalted devotees who have left, and now they reside in the samadhis here. This is very close to Radhakund, so around here. Jiva Goswami Bhajan Koter. Jiva Goswami is one of the 6 Goswami, the youngest one. He was the nephew of Sanatana and Rupa Goswami. It's a place he liked to stay while being at Radhakund, even though Raghunath Das Goswami was the inspiration and spiritual force behind the excavation of Radhakund. It was Jiva Goswami who actually purchased the land, oversaw the excavation, and managed the work. He also made sure Raghunath was properly taken care of, because being so deeply absorbed in feelings of separation from Radha and Krishna, he had practically no perception of worldly affairs. Jiva Goswami went to Vrindavan in 1535, and under the expert guidance of Rupa and Sanatan, he became a brilliant scholar, compiling 4 lakhs of Sanskrit verses, glorifying the teachings of Chaitanya. Jiva Goswami is known as India's greatest philosopher of all time, and his Sat-Sandarbha is to be the penultimate in all philosophical understanding. Very interesting. That's 23. And 24 is Jiva Goswami Ghat, Lalita Bihari Mandir, Manipur Maharaj Mandir, Radha Vinod Mandir, that's 27, Madhavendra Puri Baitak. Here we go, 28. So this is a great, great devotee. He precedes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ishwarapuri. Ishwarapuri was his disciple, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a disciple of Ishwarapuri. Great saint who came shortly before the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Used to sit at this place. He's the one actually who established the worship of Radha Krishna in this sampradaya. So really important personality. Gopi Kupa. This is a very interesting place. Gopi Kupa is well known, originally used by gopis and rebuilt by Raghunath.
Well.
It's a well, yeah. Here the tongue of Govardhan was found. And you can do a parikrama of Gopi Kupa as well. Astasakhi Mandir, Nityanand Gauranga Sitanath Mandir. And Sitanath is Advaitacharya. Radha Madhav Mandir, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Baitak. This is again very, very famous place. Just like Janava Ma's Baitak is overlooking Radhakund, so is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's. There's a very nice tamal tree there, tamal tala. In this place on the banks of Shyamkund, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sit during his visit. We can find it on the heightened area near a tree. Sri Chaitanya traveled Braj asking people about Radhakund and Shyamkund. Then he came here, and upon hearing the name of the village, Aristagram, he became ecstatic. Aristasura was the demon, the bull, and it's because of him this Radhakund and Shyamkund manifested in this world. To him, it was obvious that the sacred lakes must be somewhere nearby, but nobody knew exactly where. After a while, he discovered two rice fields on the side of a jungle. One was called Gauri, golden, and the other was Kali, black, and the two small ponds. He took bath in them and announced to the devotees that these are the places of Radha and Krishna's most intimate pastimes. So very, very nice. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the one who discovered small little ponds. And then now they're excavated into beautiful kunds. 34, Pashkela Kat. Gopis were ashamed of being defeated in many water pastimes and games by Krishna, and therefore challenged him to a game of pasadais. Thus Krishna lost his precious Kastuba gem and had to cheat on the next throw to win Radharani's embrace. So wonderful pastimes taking place there. So where is that? 34. 34 is here. Interesting. 35, Radha Madan Mohan Mandir, Lotus Footprints, Sangham. And this is the Sangham. This is where we always go when we come to Radhakund. It's a meeting place of both the sacred lakes, kunds. Here Radha and Krishna in the form of the waters of Shyamkund and Radhakund embrace eternally. So glorious place. When we first go to Radhakund, we would come here and pay our obeisances. Govardhan is here and on the other side. Lotus footprints are here as well. That's right. So that's what that is, the lotus footprints. Very nice. Let's see what else we got before we have a bath. Yes, so in the same Sangam, on one side is Govardhan, the other side is also Govardhan. And they bathe him every day and you can actually touch him. Wonderful, wonderful. This is where they are. 36, 37, 30, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, 36, 37, 38. Okay, so this is it. So let's bathe here first. So this is a fantastic place to have a bath. And we can do that. What happened?
Let's go back.
There you go. So again, we can do a Manasi Snan, mental bath in Radhakund and Shyamkund. And before we bathe, we sit on the steps here, take some jal or Radhakund water in our hands, and we say this mantra: Om Pavitra Pavitra Va Sarva Vastavato Piva Yasmare Pundari Kaksham Shabhya Abhyantar Suchi Jal Vishnu Jal Vishnu Jal Vishnu. And we take a little sip of Radhakund water, and then we can. I generally don't go inside. In fact, never get buried inside. Don't like the idea of putting feet in Radhakund. So then we just take some lota or and a jug rather, and we just bathe. And this is a good time actually to remember your loved ones and pray for them as well. And you can bathe as many times as you like. It's very, very nice, especially when it's hot. It's nice to the cool waters of Radhakund have a very nice impact. And then we cross over into Shyamkund, and we do the same again. Take some water in our hands and do the mantra Om Pavitra Pavitra Va Sarva Sagato Piva Yasmare Pundarikaksham Sabhyabhyanta Suchi Jal Vishnu Jal Vishnu Jal Vishnu. Take some Radhakund, Shyamkund water and bathe again. And again, you can remember your loved ones. And you can put as many jugs as you want all over you. And then go back again to Radhakund, because we're not sure when we'll come back again. And do exactly the same. Radhakund ki jai, Shyamkund ki jai, Radhakund ki jai. Beautiful place, magnificent place. And Nityananda Baitak. So this is where he sat. In the mood of Balaram, traveled around Vrindavan looking for a younger brother Krishna, wandering around Govardhan Hill and calling out the name of Kanhaiya, Krishna. He must have looked to everyone around as completely mad Avadut. But right here at this spot, celestial voice told him that his brother had now appeared in Navadweep. Lord Nityananda immediately got up and set out to Bengal. So this is before even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had met him. So it's very interesting. That is rather good. Let's see what that is. Number 41. Can't actually remember that one. Right. 41. Oop. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Radhakund ki jai. Any questions? Any comments? So this is the Parikrama of Radhakund. Hope you're not tired. This is very small, actually. It's like maybe 2 or 3 kilometers. Unlike Govardhan Parikrama, which is 21 kilometers.
Haribol,
Hare
just,
Krishna.
just wondering how deep are both the kunds?
Very deep.
Okay.
Probably 10 feet, maybe more. Yeah, pretty deep.
Yeah, I've been there, but I've not actually remember how deep they are.
Yeah, no, very, very deep. And yeah, once a year they, was it once a year they empty completely?
No, no, no.
Or is it once in a few years?
Mm.
It's pretty deep. Pretty deep. Many turtles there who are regarded to be sages.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Anybody else? Anything else? Okay, so let's go for Radhakund ki